Yes, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for your attendance today. And I didn't think that it will be that huge hall from here, actually. To introduce myself quickly to you, my name is Ahmad Almousli. I'm the head of marketing for Abu Diabetes Care in Saudi Arabia and Bahrain. And I'm really glad today to be part of this great conference to walk you through the revolutionary technology of the continuous glucose monitoring technology, which is the freestyle library system, which enable patients to monitor their glucose all day, all night, so that they can skip finger pricking, as well as monitoring their glucose with their HCPs and their caregivers. So I will start this presentation with this image to show you that I believe now, after like 7 to 8 years of the launch of the freestyle library, most of the HCPs now they know the benefit of the freestyle library, and after the finishing of the presentation, I believe that you will be able to really know these benefits. So I always like to start my presentation with this slide to show you the important need or the unmet need to make such a technology to monitor the patients and to make them reach their control levels. This study shows you that in Europe, the average of measuring or monitoring the glucose, to test the glucose, is about 6 to 10 times per day. And they found that they were testing like less than 4 times per day. And this is really something was affecting the control and the reflection of monitoring their glucose. And as you can see, the result was 1/4 of them only achieved their A1C, which is below 7, and most of them were out of their control. They didn't adhere due to the adhesiveness, due to the social life, due to many other results. So if you will see the advanced technology that eliminates the finger pricks and provide complete glycemic profile, I would like to show you the freestyle library too, which is the easiest way for patients to monitor their glucose, with clinical evidences shows significant reduction in terms of hypoglycemia and other aspects in terms of HbA1c and others that I will show you in the coming slides. Now, if we'll compare both the SMPGs, which is the BGMs, to the continuous glucose monitoring system or the freestyle library, we can see that the patient, if he tests 4 times per day, he would think that he is within the target range, while in the reality he is not seeing, what happens between those 4 times that he tested his glucose. He would not be able to see the fluctuations in terms of hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia as well. So this is another also important need that the patient nor the HCPs were able to see it because of the use of the BGMs. Now, if you can see those 4 patients who are using the freestyle library, the continuous glucose monitoring, who are having approximately the same HbA1c, but with different ambulatory glucose profiles or AGP profiles, as you can see, would you treat each one the same, even if they have approximately the same HbA1c, if you see this AGP profile? I believe the answer is no, because each patient reveals fluctuations and glycemic variabilities that is different from each one other, and in the end, the treatment plan will be different and customized for each one. So the practice was used to have the HbA1c as the cornerstone, but actually we need also to look as a to complement this monitoring with the timer range. The timer range is one now of the endorsed parameters in diabetes management in terms of complementing the A1C, because it shows how the patients really is adhered to his glucose treatment, and in the end it will end up in better control for his patients. So what is timer range? Timer range is how much of the time this patient is staying within the target range, and according to the guidelines, he needs to achieve at least 70% of his time within the target range, which is more than 70%, as well as the aspects in terms of hyperglycemia, which is below 25, and also the hypoglycemia, which is below 4%. So this is another important aspect, which is reducing the HbA1c and staying in range without going to hypoglycemia. And this is something really important, because this is shift the paradigm, because most of the patients who reduce their A1c, they get into hypos. So this is really important that the patient will monitor himself in order not to get into hypoglycemia on those levels, as well as staying in range as much as he can. So according to this study and the guidelines, it's telling you that 70% of time in range equals around 6.7% of A1C, which means that this patient is controlled. Because every 10% increase in time in range result in 0.8% decrease in A1C. So this is really correlated directly to the A1C and the control of the patients. So that's why I would like to introduce to you the system of the Freestyle Libre, which consists from the Freestyle Libre link, the application and the sensor, as well as the application for the caregivers, which is the Libre link up, and the platform for the HCPs, which is the Libre View. Now, if you will imagine that the patient is now in the center and her loved ones or his loved ones are monitoring him remotely, as well as his HCP also monitoring him remotely, he will feel safe and he will be controlled in the end. So this is the sensor of the Freestyle Libre, which is now the smallest available here in the market, with the longest also period of 14 days of wearing, which is also water resistant and can be worn during swimming or also showering. Now, because in Bahrain, actually, we are going to launch the Freestyle Libre 2 system, and also I would like to highlight an important update about the Freestyle Libre 2 system, that now it is a continuous glucose monitoring system using the Freestyle Libre Link application. Because of all of you, if you know that the Freestyle Libre system, you need to scan your sensor in order to reveal your data. But now with the new update, you don't need to do this, because the Freestyle Libre Link is sending the data through Bluetooth to the application so that the patient can see their glucose levels instantly and every minute. And this is really important to emphasize on the word every minute, because others are every 5 minutes. And we're talking about 14 days of monitoring. So real-time glucose readings now are automatically updated every minute and sent directly to your patient's smartphone, as well as the new update gives the caregivers the upper hand to monitor their patients remotely with customizable alarms, which means that if the patient even turned off his alarms, the caregiver in the Libre Link Up can enable the alarms and set the range that he wants to monitor his patients, his loved ones, remotely. So this is also to enhance the care for the patients. So now the patients can receive the alarm and act directly without the need to scan. And this is really important update. And also, in order not to lose your data, there is another feature which is really important, that whenever there is a discontinuation in the Bluetooth, just scan your sensor again and all the data will be backfilled, so you will never lose the data. So this is another important aspect that shows the data will be completely safe. Now with the Libre View as an HCP is really important, because the Libre View makes your own virtual clinic as the doctor, and you can have all your patients who are on the Freestyle Libre on the dashboard, and you can monitor them remotely just every minute. So that's why every doctor now, and we have the practice in Saudi Arabia and other countries in the Gulf, they have their own virtual clinic, their own practice. They can invite patients to it, and they can see the population data as well as individual data. All it takes that the HCP will give the patient the practice ID, and he can add himself directly, and then he will be connected to his doctor. Also, as I mentioned for the Libre Link Up, it is just one click away. The patient will be connected with his father, his mother, his daughter, whatever, and he can be connected and monitor remotely as a mirroring with also real-time alarms as well. This is the system as a whole, as I've mentioned. We're talking about the accuracy of a 9.2 MARD versus YSI, which is versus the labs, I mean. Also, we're talking about a 98.4% accuracy when we talk about the hypos, the low glucose range. For the pediatrics, we're talking about 9.7% MARD accuracy, also the 98.8% in the low glucose range. And also, it just make the patient free for better diabetes management, because the patient now can adjust his insulin using this technology. He can also free from finger pricking. There is no finger prick calibrations because the sensor is factory calibrated, and also he will not be aware of having paracetamol or acetaminophen while using this sensor, because there is no interactions like other competitors. So this is also another study, which is the FLAIR study, shows how the percentages of the acceptability of using the freestyle library, which were very high, as well as when we talk about the clinical evidences, there are massive clinical evidences for the freestyle library system in terms of increase the time of range, reducing the hypoglycemia, and decreasing the A1C. We have international studies, country studies, as well as local studies in Saudi Arabia, for example, and the Gulf, in UAE. We have studies in the Prince Sultan Military Medical City, and we have other studies in the National Guards and the MOH itself, measuring the importance of using the freestyle library system. Also, we have to highlight that the freestyle library system can be used for pregnant ladies in the gestational diabetes, so that they can also monitor their glucose. And finally, before I close this presentation, I believe now, after this quick overview about the importance of the freestyle library system, I believe all of you now, know that the freestyle library system have surpassed 14 days accuracy, optional glucose alarms, clinically proven to decrease the A1C and increase the time of range, and it's just easy for you and for patients. So that's why we're going to have it, inshallah, very soon in Bahrain, like other countries in the Gulf. And I believe that where my presentation ends. And please, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask me. Thank you.